Okay, I figured I'd give a review on this because it ran today with the EMAs really quick for those that are new to the strat. So first things first, because of the news with the war going on, and then I saw this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is kind of usual where the head is on the bottom side of the neck and shoulders. I thought, hey, this might be a really good play. If you're part of the Discord, I called this out. Where was it today? 9:06 a.m. And then calling these break of 160, 175. So I kind of want to go over kind of how I found these price targets too. Um, so I look for VWAP drops, and this was one right here. They're at like 160. When VWAP drops, I call them, when it makes this, they tend to usually hit if they're really close. And then for bigger moves, that's my like green lines that I found. And then for targets, I started on the 1 hour looking for the 201 MA, the 200 EMA. Then on the 2 hour, marked it there. That's how I got $1.90 and $2. These red and orange line are the daily gap fills. So going back here, I was marking out these gaps on the daily to see if they hit. So there's a third one we haven't hit. So this might be a multi-day runner with war raging on. Here's the one that's between the $2.71, 274. Again, call that out at like 11:11. Oh, and if you're new here, and if you're not part of the thing, part of Team Alpha Trading on Discord, shout out. But going back to the EMA and MA crossovers, so as we can see, my 9 EMA is the dotted blue line, the 19 EMA is the green line, and the 21 MA is the white line. Ignore these other EMAs for now. 5 minute, you can see it respecting. That would kind of be your actual complete stop out. However, as it started gaining traction and past this $1.60 mark, I switched over to the 30-second since it was moving so fast. And sometimes when it gets overextended, I will go to like the 5-second. And as you can see, even on the 30-second, we were respecting the 9 EMA. And then, of course, as soon as that 21 MA crosses the 19 EMA, and then definitely blue, we see like a little bit of a dip. On the 30-second, when it dips below the 9 EMA, it usually comes back to it on the 5-minute 9 EMA. So that's kind of like your warning sign, or like if you want, get out really quick and then jump back in on the 9 EMA on the 5. And then it kind of leveled out, and then here we went, and we kept going. And then up here, when it gets like really overextended, sometimes this is the 30-second time frame. I'll switch to the 5-second. Again, you can't see these time frames with the EMAs on your phone. You can only see them on a computer. If you're serious about day trading, go to a computer. So when it got here on the 5-second, I saw that hard dip and everything, and I'm like, this may be time to get out because the 21 MA crossed over the 9 EMA, and then I start checking on the 30-second. Ooh, we were cooking. 30-second dipping boy below. Definitely when it dips below 19, it's like, oh shit, get out. And that's kind of your thing, following those 3 EMAs, like 9 EMA, 19 EMA, and then the 21 MA. And if you're on Webull, like there's a little pencil I didn't put in the picture, and you can just go to your settings, and put out the lengths, put out the style, pick your line thicknesses. I usually pick a thicker line so I could see it better. But really, those three are like all you need. So right now it's falling, and I'm waiting for confirmation here to get back in. We were below VWAP, so ideally I like to wait until the actual trend line crosses, not just the candle. We saw it here a little bit, but because it was below VWAP, I was just like, because on the 5-minute, look, that 21 MA crossed above the 9 EMA, and we just kept going down. And then you go to the 10-minute, we're seeing it bat across too again, probably going further down. Over here is the volume profile, so I was looking for an imbalance right around here, and that's what I'm thinking, maybe a reversal around here before it took off. Probably hitting back down to $1.60 again, maybe even lower, because usually when there's panic, it also gains momentum downward. But for looking for re-entries, especially if you're below the VWAP, I would at least wait until you get confirmation on the 5-minute. If you were above VWAP, waiting until you only got confirmation on the 1-minute is a good sign. If you want me to talk about, so I also have the 48 EMA, which is this dark blue line, 50 MA, which is the purple, and then my 200 EMA, which is this red line, and then the 201 MA, it's like magenta. Usually when that's crossing over, that's a further dive. On the 5-minute, we may bounce off of this here at $1.54. But if this 50 MA crosses over the 90 MA, like, we're definitely going down further. And that, like, if you're going back, could bring an example. See, like, this 50 MA crossing? See how these lines, it's like, it's a much further dive. Now see how the 48 EMA stayed above the 50 MA here, and we took a dip. This is the 4-hour, by the way. If it's above, there's a chance it could bounce, still. But if, like, the MA is above the EMA, like, it's a bearish signal. When was this? 3, 4. Ooh, let's look at the 1-minute. 1 hour. Ooh. Yeah, see, when this, like, the 200 EMA is above it, this is above it, this is above it, and then how it just went completely down. Like, when these other EMAs are, like, over the 90 EMA, like, it's just not good. Like, it's going for quite the fall until it gets back over. As long as it stays above, this is a 1-hour time frame, by the way, when it last ran to 35, you have a chance that maybe after a dip it can go back up. But when those MAs, when they cross above the EMAs, like, it's just not a good sign. But anyway, just keep on studying. I hope this helps y'all. Go back on your trades, look at your entries and exits, and just, hopefully this helps you in future trades of, like, when to leave runners and when to get out. And good luck. Have fun.